What happens when a country upgrades its strategy and suddenly reaches targets once thought untouchable? The answer is unfolding right now. Ukraine has launched a bold new approach called the pink strategy, and it may completely change the balance of this war in ways few expected. Ukraine's deep strike strategy has been pressuring Russia for more than a year. Using long-range drones, Ukraine has hit fuel depots, supply lines, and key facilities far from the front lines. These strikes forced Russia to spend money and resources on repairs and air defenses. But there was one major limitation. Drones, while effective, often carried smaller explosive payloads. They could damage buildings, but not always destroy them completely. That meant some facilities could be repaired and brought back online. Now, that has changed. Ukraine has introduced what many analysts are calling its pink strategy, a powerful mix of precision drones and heavy long-range missiles. Instead of relying mainly on drones, Ukraine is now combining speed, power, and coordination. The most talked about example of this new strategy happened on February 21st. On that day, Ukraine's general staff confirmed a major strike deep inside Russia. The target was the Votkinsk missile plant in Russia's Udmurt Republic, a key facility believed to produce advanced missile systems such as the Iskander, Yaz, Bulava, and Oreshnik. The strike reportedly traveled over 1,400 kilometers, about 870 miles. That distance alone is significant. It shows that Ukraine can now reach deep into Russian territory. But distance wasn't the only headline. It was the type of weapon used. The missile, nicknamed Flamingo, appears to be a hybrid between a drone and a cruise missile. It travels at subsonic speeds, around 900 kilometers per hour, much faster than most long-range drones, and which typically fly between 250 and 350 kilometers per hour. Speed makes interception harder, but what really sets Flamingo apart is its power. While traditional long-range drones may carry smaller warheads, Flamingo reportedly carries a warhead weighing around 1,150 kilograms, roughly 2,500 pounds. That gives it far greater destructive capability. Reports and analysis suggested that during the February 21st strike, at least one missile penetrated the building before exploding. Instead of detonating on impact, it appeared to break through the outer wall and explode inside. That kind of internal explosion can cause much greater structural damage. Satellite images later showed significant damage to the facility. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky commented after the strike, stating that some missiles were intercepted, but others reached their targets directly. He emphasized accuracy and effectiveness as key strengths of this new approach. And what made this event even more notable was the reaction inside Russia. Reports indicated that missile alerts were issued across multiple Russian regions, some for the very first time since the war began. This shows how the reach of Ukraine's strikes is expanding. So what exactly is the pink strategy? In simple terms, it's about combining tools. Ukraine continues to produce thousands of long-range drones. In 2025 alone, officials said around 30,000 were built. These drones can overwhelm air defense systems by arriving in large numbers. Now imagine those drone waves being followed or accompanied by heavy missiles like Flamingo. Air defense systems can only handle so much at once. If dozens or even hundreds of drones are approaching, it becomes harder to focus on a smaller number of high-value missiles moving faster and carrying heavier payloads. This combination creates a layered attack. First, drones stretch and stress the defense systems, and then heavy missiles aim at the most important parts of a facility. Military analysts have pointed out that this is similar to strategies used by other countries. Coordinated missile and drone attacks are designed to increase the chance that at least some high-value weapons reach their targets. The difference now is that Ukraine appears to be adapting and expanding this method for its own long-range operations. Another important factor is cost. Some reports suggest that each Flamingo missile may cost around $500,000 to produce. That's significantly less than many Western cruise missiles. For comparison, the US Tomahawk missile costs over $1 million per unit. Lower cost means more can be built. Production is key to making the pink strategy sustainable. Earlier reports suggested a goal of around 50 missiles per month. Later statements hinted production might even be higher. If those numbers hold, Ukraine could build hundreds per year. Now here's the bigger picture. Why target missile factories? Because modern wars depend heavily on long-range strike capabilities. If a missile production facility is damaged or slowed, it affects future missile supply. That could influence how often long-range strikes can be carried out. Even temporary disruptions can have ripple effects. Less production means reliance on stockpiles. Stockpiles, once used, cannot be instantly replaced. At the same time, drone strikes continue targeting fuel depots and infrastructure. In 2025, Ukraine reportedly managed to disrupt a significant portion of Russia's refining capacity at one point using drones alone. So drones weaken energy and logistics. Missiles target heavy industry and core production. That's the dual approach of the pink strategy. Of course, no system is perfect. Some missiles can be intercepted. Air defenses still work. Weather, electronic interference, and other challenges remain. But the February 21st strike showed that at least some missiles are getting through. And that changes calculations. Another interesting element is leverage in negotiations. When one side demonstrates the ability to reach deeper targets with greater precision, it sends a signal. It shows capability and technological growth. Analysts have noted that strategic strikes can influence diplomatic discussions because they affect long-term production and economic factors. No, but strategy is not just about power, it's also about timing. Ukraine may continue building up stockpiles before launching coordinated waves. Instead of constant heavy missile use, we might see periodic, carefully planned strikes designed to maximize impact. That requires patience and planning. It also requires steady production. If Ukraine maintains strong drone output and increases missile numbers, the pink strategy could evolve further. And some experts believe future versions could feature even longer range or improved guidance systems. For now, the key takeaway is this. Ukraine's deep strike strategy has shifted from mostly drones to a combined system of drones plus heavy missiles. The Flamingo missile represents a step up in range, speed, and explosive power. The February 21st strike demonstrated that high-value targets deep inside Russia are now within reach. And missile alerts across multiple regions show that the psychological impact is spreading as well. Wars are often shaped not just by numbers of troops, but by technology, logistics, and industrial capacity. The pink strategy focuses directly on those foundations. Whether it leads to a decisive shift remains to be seen, but it clearly marks a new phase in how long-range strikes are being carried out. One thing is certain: strategies evolve, technology advances, and each new development reshapes the battlefield in ways that were once hard to imagine. If you found this breakdown helpful and want more clear, simple explanations of major global events, Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss an update.